Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not puzzle making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. No liens on the whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just where I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop. Yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop. Ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up and then advantage. Yeah, I can't stand it. Out of all the way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Stood strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Tables set, now tables turn. God's plan, don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop.
Yes, sir. Happy Monday. Good morning. Good morning, all. Hope you're all well. Hope we're well, Zoom guys. Hope we're well, YouTube chat. Let's see it. Let's see it. Happy Monday to all. All systems look go on my end here. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All looks good. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone had a productive weekend. Is ready for a new week. New week, new opportunity. And yeah, let's get it. Let a few people show up here. Make sure everyone's active. Morning, boss. Morning, morning. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Start off here with the analysis. The analysis is important here. This week especially, we have a very, very important analysis going into this week here. And start off on the weekly time frame here. So weekly time frame is sitting at daily resistance. Now, depending, not daily, sorry, weekly resistance here. So depending on your broker, this weekly resistance can be a little bit lower. So on my broker, we're sitting above it right now. On this broker, we are literally right at it. But nevertheless, there is a range here, and we're at weekly resistance. This whole zone here is a scary zone because of the wicks, right? We can see how many wicks there are in this zone. So we just need to be generally just a little bit more careful buying into this zone. And that big Friday push puts us in a little bit of a tough spot, because now we end up buying highs, which is always tough after such a heavy move, right? We've had a big heavy move. We can't sit here and expect that move to be replicated. Now it can happen again, but it's like 50-50. It's either gonna kind of chill out here, or the move is gonna happen. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful and just trade with caution around this area. You know, maybe be more aggressive with the break-evens and stuff like that. Otherwise, from that, if we go down on the daily time frame here, we can see that daily is closing bullish. Obviously, previous weekly closed bullish. And, you know, based on a daily time frame, we do have range to trade up to 185, 600 is definitely an option here based on the daily time frame, and is a possibility for today to get this push if we do get the momentum in the market here. Same story on the 4 hour. 4 hour is also trending bullish here, as we can see. And if we bring back drawings, we can see we're sitting right at that weekly resistance, and we tapped it perfectly. This would have made our session very easy if we had a 4 hour candle closing above weekly resistance. But even if we check a broker here that has similar weekly resistance here, yeah, on this broker, the 4 hour did close above weekly resistance, and there's a bit of inconsistency there. On my broker, it's pretty much the same where the weekly resistance is, but we can see compared with the two brokers, it's a little bit different. But the good thing is that we have the same range here. The range is the same. We have the same 15-minute range with the resistance here. So no matter if we're sitting at or above weekly resistance, we're not buying till at least we clear this range anyway. So same story down here, right? 1 hour, on the other hand, has basically Asian session came in and pushed up here, pulled back, respected the top of the range here, and it's kind of in like this trending move. The problem is that when we're buying highs here, you can see this trend, which might continue, is what every time price closes above, it kind of loses that, and we get a fake out back in the range. Closes above again, fake out back in the range. This close above, fake out. Then we're stuck where we are now. So it's not simple continuation where we're seeing close above, continuation, close above, continuation. It's actually close above, pullback, close above, pullback. But the key thing is that the range is being respected. So the supports are being respected in the range. No matter if you entered on the breakout here, as long as you held stops, eventually you go in profit. But it's a long time to wait. But again, this is Asian session, so volume is generally just lower here. So normally I would tackle these days in two scenarios here. If this is where it makes it a tough spot, right? And this is where I have to make a decision here to see what I really want to do. The reason it makes it a tough spot is because if you go ahead and look at, you know, what we got going on a bigger picture, we are bullish here and we are sitting at a major resistance. Now, the decision I have to make is normally after such a heavy movement on the day before, I would like to see more structure formed, and I would like to trade two targets. I wouldn't like to trade breakouts because those could end up in a fake out, especially after such a heavy push. So I like to have targets formed, pull back, and then trade to that target. That is definitely a safer approach for me. But if we are heavy volume trending, then breakouts are going to be the only option, and that is the option we have to accept and try to look to continue this move. Now, the way we distinguish whether to take a breakout or not is based on what we've seen in the past. And what we've seen last week is not much volume on breakouts. Last week when we took a breakout, didn't play out. So this is what's making me hesitate to take a breakout. But you know, this is where I have to make a decision and maybe just accept the extra risk here in order not to miss a potential good move, which is definitely a possibility here. Or I have to just be super patient, wait for price to make targets, pull back, and then trade back to those targets. And you know, we'll see what ends up happening. But obviously buys is what makes sense. Since we are at major market highs, the only time I would sell is probably once we break down below here. I do think that there could be an opportunity, especially that we made this structure here. This would flip the daily as well. And since we're coming away from weekly resistance, I would be okay taking counter trend sales just to try get back into 500 and see what happens. I'm not trying to reverse this whole move. I'm not trying to hold a sell all the way down to the bottom of the range. I'm simply looking if price is going to break through this structure here, not respect this structure and close below this range here, then I don't see why it doesn't come down to test into these zones first before making a decision of potentially creating support to continue towards the upside. So overall, that's basically what I'm looking at. And yeah, we have had daylight saving time shift now in the US. So if you notice, guys, last week the 4-hour candle was the same. Now the 4-hour candle is different, right? We closed the 4-hour candle about 28 minutes ago. We had the 4-hour candle close, and now this next 4-hour candle is going to close in 3 hours 31 minutes. So we get the full 4 hours in the session because now the US has adjusted its time. Before, when the US time was not adjusted, the 4-hour candles were still closing at the same time as before. But now the whole world has done its daylight saving shift. So now we are, well, for you guys who are in countries with daylight savings, then obviously the time is remaining the same. But for people like me in countries where we don't have daylight savings, then everything is now in sync, what I'm trying to say. So obviously for me today, buys do make sense, and it is what I'm comfortable taking because the chart does not tell me otherwise. The only issue I have is I do not want to get caught out in a fake out here with price just, you know, closing above the range and then fail, you know, and then that's the top for the day. Just a nice little fake out, trap people in buys, and then it continues down. But with volume and momentum here, if I can rely on that to come into the market, which I have not seen, so it's a little bit of a gamble for that to come in, then there's no reason we can't get up to this 15-minute resistance up here. We'll go see what we have going on the 1 hour here, right? So yeah, we do have this clean range here. Not the cleanest ranges, but if it's a trending move, you expect us to push through highs and through lows. Let's see what we have on the 30-minute as well here. So on the 30-minute, we do have this resistance right here actually. This is at 252. This could be used as a watch zone because it's not clean ranges. So you're expecting price to be pushing, especially that it's created a resistance, you expect it to reach the next range, and you rely on the 4-hour being clean here. This is what you'll rely on. Most definitely the 4-hour being clean here for the 4-hour just to push through this zone, you know, which we have every single time we've crossed through this zone. Yeah, every single time we've crossed through the zone, it's been okay, right? We have got that upside. Let's see what it's done on the 15-minute. I'll be interested to see. Where am I? Oh, I was there. Okay, so let's have a look here. Yeah, this struggled, this faked out, this one continued coming from bullish bias though. This is similar, heavy movement the day before, range, and then close above here, failed heavily. This one different standpoint, this continuation. Yeah, it's a little bit inconsistent around this zone, which you would expect at a weekly resistance. But yeah, we're trying to get above it right now. And this current candle has no bottom wick as well. It's the 30-minute candle as well. 30-minute has not closed above resistance, which would have been nice. But yeah, there's no bottom wick on this candle, no close above, so no entry for me until at least this candle closes above. And preferably would like to see a bottom wick here because this is the 30-minute open. So even if we take the trade on a 15-minute, at any time the 30-minute could flip, right? Could flip and make its bottom wick here. So we need to keep that in mind. Apart from that, let's go ahead and look at gold here. Gold on the other hand, NFP, very whipsaw NFP, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, which is very interesting to see. Definitely a lot of people could get messed up in moves like this if they don't know what they're doing. So weekly time frame though on gold has made its first weekly resistance, which is super interesting. We've had basically three big weeks, almost a month of just pure upside, and we have a first weekly resistance here, not the strongest. And daily is still stuck within this daily range. So until the daily starts leaving this range, which is going to be around 67 because of the 4 hour. If you look at the 4 hour, the range is at here. Until we leave this range, only then do I think we could start to see a little bit more downside. Otherwise, we're just going to range in between here and, you know, bounce from the bottom and sell from the top basically. And now we're right in the middle of the range, so it's kind of making up its mind, especially after NFP. We're starting to see that. But let me bring back drawings and start adjusting in good zones here. Something like this. This daily resistance still relevant, also a daily support now. So yeah, this is kind of like the zone we're playing in right now. Yeah, it's a little bit of a messy zone here, you know, but since we're coming away from the bottom of the range, if we do get back above these highs, there could be a quick little push just to retest into 88s or something like that. But I think for gold, it needs one day just to develop some more price action here. You don't want to get caught in range like this. Selling below 80s here. Selling below 80s, the problem is this is our daily support zone. This whole zone is a daily support. So you don't have enough room because realistically you're targeting into here, which is only like 10 pips. It's not really too much room, right? It's not too much room. But as I said, once we start leaving these zones here, you could trade to the lows, and that's where the continuation will come, especially once we start leaving the 60s. But, you know, there's definitely an opportunity for price. If price does end up closing bearish here, like it has, and then we get a pullback during London, right? And once we get this pullback during London, it creates resistance, and then we see price resist somewhere around 1990 or something like that. You could find yourself selling back down to the lows, which would be better. Basically the same scenario as this. Price pushes down, everyone tries to sell the breakout, doesn't break out, pulls back, creates resistance, and then you sell down. Pull back, create resistance, then you sell down. That would be a lot safer on gold here, but gold is in this tight range at the moment. Gold is definitely in this tight range. So we'll see how the price action develops on gold here. So let's see what's going on with GJ. People saying it's gone. It's not gone, but it is pushing above this resistance here. It's not gone. Not sure how you're supposed to find an entry here unless you just rip it, break of the high. If we look at the 1 hour close, we have nothing closing above 1 hour resistance. This is not enough of a range for setup 2 here. It's a little bit tough, man. A little bit tough. With the 30-minute no bottom wick, I would just be careful here. We've seen this. You know, on this open, 5-minute comes in and one 5-minute candle will say not today, and then you end up back inside of the range. So it will be a little bit interesting to see if this thing just keeps pushing. Then we need pullbacks to continue. There's just nothing we can do, and this is just a frustrating thing, right? That you just have to wait for because there's no entry that will give us a solid, you know, confirmation that we can put somewhere with stops. I mean, if you're a breakout trader, then you just rip it, break of the high. You have to put stop below the whole range here around 30 pips, and you pray that these candles close above, because if they don't, you're gonna lose the trade. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening, and yeah, that's exactly how it is. So if you guys did enjoy the analysis, almost 400 of us in here, appreciate everyone showing up. Do the YouTube business, you guys know the drill. Leaving a like really does help the stream. Would appreciate it if we could get up to 200 likes, would be great. Hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's video. Put a lot of effort into editing here on this video and stuff like that. Really trying to push out content that is very, very useful here. This is a very, very useful video because I talk about how to trade with money and without money, and it's a topic that no one talks about. I've seen these videos on the internet and no one really explains it, how you should trade with money and without money, what's your plan, and basically how I learned to trade. And many people say do this different, do that different, but at the end of the day, it's your own journey and you have to experience things, because that's what will make you a good trader, is from experiencing things, not from learning from what someone said, don't do this, don't do that, because if you don't do it, at some time in the future, you're very likely going to do it anyways. The only thing that someone should be avoiding you is avoiding you into a trap of just blowing money. That is avoidable, but making mistakes is not avoidable, and it's actually necessary to make mistakes. If you don't encounter losses, if you don't make mistakes, first of all, your expectations will be through the roof, and secondly, right, what's going to happen is that when those mistakes do happen, it's going to put your confidence down, and that's a big problem. People who come into trading and are guided very nicely, what happens is that if they're like new to trading and they have not even seen one full market cycle, how the market is week to week, month to month, because it changes, if they have not experienced that whole market cycle, what ends up happening is that whenever they're on a high of taking wins and they think they're invincible, when it comes, push comes to shove and actually the market starts to become testing and their skills get tested and their discipline gets tested, they're going to break. And when they break, that's going to be a career-ending move. Because when they break hard because they've not built that foundation to survive the break, And, that's one thing when you learn to trade, you're building trust in your ability, right? You're building trust in your ability. So, yeah. The 10-year yield at 4.98%, what if it hits 5%? Does it mean intervention again? It's the 1% mark. So no, we're well away from the 1%. What we're looking for, this is the 1%. They don't want to let it hit 1% here. So we can see a lot of yen weaknesses just come in. Hence GJ having such a massive push. But yeah, it's the 1% mark. Very simple and clear video. No hype, real talk. Glad you guys liked it. Show how much I trust this close above here. What are we saying in Zoom chat? Boys, what do we think about this close? How are you guys feeling? I want to see. Let's see. I want to wait for support. 4 hour didn't close above. That's a big one. Is the 4 hour didn't close above. Wait for 30 close. Definitely pass. Solid. Not loving it. Good one, guys. Good one. Not loving it. Yeah, it's a little bit. This is what I mean. But the same people. This is why I asked this question, because if this starts going and pushing, are you going to be the same people who said, you missed the move, we should have entered on that 15? It's there. You have to plan, right? You have to plan and take that plan, right? Don't be if, but, and then type person. Or woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? You have to be happy with your decisions based on the current scenario. This is why hindsight trading is easy. In the current scenario, it's not as easy, man. Especially after a big push. I'm looking for the victory lane today and I can only find it on the 4 hour. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was hoping. But did you notice if you look at IC, the 4 hour has closed above weekly resistance on IC. Even with this thing. So technically it is above weekly resistance. Do a flip. Been watching your streams lately, love the way you trade. Then I started to watch your videos, super helpful. Thanks, man. I'm glad you like it. Watching them back to back. Is Gbpjpy still a buy? Yeah, until proven otherwise, it's still a buy. The problem is, what is going to be our safest option to get into buys and not to get into a fake out? That is what's important, not to get into a fake out. Also, the time, now it's 10:41. So today is very important for me to see what time volume comes in, because now we have the 4 hour candle shift. So this would be 9:41, 10 minutes after we normally start stream. So we have to see what time the volume comes in as well, and then take it from there. You know what would be perfect here, guys? If we could get this close above and then a setup 3. This would be perfect. You used to start stream now at this time, but you started streaming 20 minutes earlier? Yeah, because of the daylight saving shift. From tomorrow, I will start stream the same time. From tomorrow's stream will start exactly at 10:30 Dubai time. Now it's 9:42. Today I started it at 10:15, but tomorrow I'll start it at 10:30. What about setup 1? There's no bottom wick on this 30-minute. We need to be careful. You know, we need to be very, very careful here. Give me a sec, guys. Just go to it, come back. I want to see a retest on GJ. Yes, I would prefer some sort of retest, not just some sort of pullback after, because this is a very similar scenario to what we've been seeing GJ do. If we go back to this point, this is the same type of thing, right? Close above the high. This looks great to take a trade, right? But look what happens next candle. Breaks the high. You still look good, and then boop, not today. Now it pulls back, you know. Then again, your resistance becomes this. So you look for a close above that resistance. You get the close above here, you take it, break of high again, boom, again you're in drawdown, break of high, boom, stopped. Now you're like, ah, let me try again. You wait for again, close above resistance, right? Now this candle closes above resistance and you're like, okay, let's go again, wick fill. And then finally you only get up to here like 7 pips and then it pulls back again. So this is what I'm scared of happening right here, is that you get the exact same thing right here, the exact same thing. Close above and then it pulls back. But on that pullback, now that we're closing above here, this pullback could give the hourly. So as long as this 1 hour is closing above, and then we have a pullback completed on the 15 minutes, which will end up in a setup 3 and the hour closing above. So that could be nice, right? So this again, no bottom wick. The more this pushes no bottom wick, no bottom wick, no bottom wick like this, it's more fishy for me, because this is just showing that, hey, there's nothing, no one is grabbing orders from the downside to continue up, you know. Also guys, check this out. This is very interesting actually. If we go and mark that 15-minute resistance again, we have closed right at the resistance, I believe. Directly at that resistance we have closed. Watch this. Look. If I mark this resistance here, look. Boom. Exactly at that resistance. So obviously it's relevant. It's relevant and we need to watch it. Lately, a lot of manipulation in the market. Would you agree? A lot of manipulation in JPY pairs. Yes, something I have not seen before. This amount. When do you trade gold? I mainly trade gold in New York session. I feel gold in New York session has a lot more opportunity. There's a lot bigger ranges. Now, don't get me wrong. You can trade gold during London, but there's not. You have one shot. One chance to get it right, which is actually similar to GJ, to be honest. Gold's been tough for me. You traded in NY or in London? NY? Yeah, it's also been in a range, right? Wonder this 5-minute can be enough here to anticipate the hour to close bullish. Now we do have a bottom wick. Might consider my baby trend walls for any closure. You mean above on the 30-minute? As a breakout, you mean? I appreciate your discipline. Thank you, thank you. Not easy. You looking for a breakout of your trend lines or rejection from? I'm in buys in gold right now. What do you suggest? I break even or I hold it? I think it can flip the daily candle, but kind of my buy from 1982. 1982 is your buy. Well, depends on your plan, man. You know, if you want to flip the daily candles up here, I mean, that's your target. Your first target is going to be up here at this resistance here. As long as we remain below this resistance, there's no continuation. I think, you know, you just have to watch this resistance right here. Just have to watch this resistance right here. And similarly, as long as we remain on this support, you're fine. You'll remain in this range, and then price will make its mind whether it wants to break up to the upside or break down to the downside. Any 15-minute leaving this range, then, you know, this is, of course, probabilities will go against you because you'll have price closing below the range. Do you think gold will fall down short term but go up in long term? As long as this news keeps coming out with the tensions in the Middle East, then price will keep pumping based on that news. As for short term and long term, if I could say that 100%, then I would take trades on both and be super rich. So it's the way I trade is based on ranges, and if it breaks certain ranges, I expect certain zones to be filled. You know, or if it rejects certain zones with change of structures, I can expect that range to be filled. So essentially it's from range to range. So as long as one range is being respected, I expect it to maintain there, you know. If you guys enjoying the stream, be sure to do the YouTube business. 500 of us are here on Monday. Appreciate everyone joining up as always. Get up to 200 likes, would appreciate it. It's 4 a.m. right here in Brazil. London is about to open. Let's see if we could get some money before London open. London doesn't open till for another hour. London does not open for another hour. London opens at 12 o'clock. Dubai time. You can see my clock up there. So for you, I think if it's 4 a.m. right now, well, almost 5, then I think London opens 6 o'clock, right? I went long on GJ during Asian. Is it safe to hold? I mean, if you're long during Asian, then you have space to manage your trade, you know? See Antonio's plan here. 11 pips away. Yeah. Wait for structure. Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with this. We just... breakout trade is a little bit scary, but, you know, it seems like it's going to be the only option here. So we have to be a man and take it regardless of the outcome. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Daylight saving sucks. Yeah, it is a little bit annoying. It does bring all of this weird inconsistency, and times change and people don't know what time it is, and this and that and all of that BS. Hey Tradesharpe, when did you start trading? It's over 3 years now, over 3 years ago. That's when I started seriously, but when I started looking at trading, I was probably like 17 years old. Give a trade, bro. Press buy and sell, whichever one goes into the profit, that is your trade. Where would TP be? I would just look for a quick 1-to-1. I don't trust price being at this at these highs for too long here. You know, I'll probably just manage it, you know, trail it, maybe leave tiny runner, you know, but have you ever done an account flip? Yes, I have had a small account and tried to flip it before, just for fun. So yes, I have done it. Problem is that you need the first trade to go right. If the first trade goes right, then you're okay. I won't say it's a healthy thing, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. Where would TP be on this trade? Yeah, I said that. But you know, obviously the next level we have here is this resistance here, which gives us around 13 pips from the break of this high. If we took it break of this high, would be only 11 pips, like Antonio said in his plan. Totally messed price action. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult here, not the easiest. What music you listen to? I'd say mainly mainstream rap. Can we re-entry? Re-entry to what? We haven't entered yet. I'm not going to re-enter. Do the Lofi beats help you when trading? No, they don't help me with trading. I rather trade without music. They just... people like it on stream. It just gives background music. See Tony's plan on gold. Sells below. Again, same area. This 1983 be very... Look what it is on the daily time frame. Look where you're selling here, right? Check this on the daily time frame. It's a very sketchy zone here. It makes sense in the range, but remember, you're in the middle of the range. This zone here is a little bit nasty on the daily, right? Look at this. It's right into that daily support here, you know? Very risky zone to test. Right into 4-hour support as well, right? We've already reached target. This was target, the 4-hour support, we're there. What are we saying, boys, about this setup 3 potentially? How long will you be live streaming this change of time? The same, just an hour ahead. Setup 3 and 15? Yeah, it would be. Would be, Adam. Probably take it. Yeah, hour close as well. How big is hourly stops? $23 pips. That would be the safest stops. But you could probably run it below here, something like this. 319. This one right here. Or this. Yeah, this here. But the wick crossed it. Yeah, the wick crossed it. That's why it's maybe not an issue. If the wick didn't cross it here, then yes, I can agree. Any 15-minute close out the range? Yeah, if the 15 closes like this, it's a problem. That's not a good closure. Anytime I've seen the 15 close doji like this, not bearish, I've seen problems with these trades. They normally don't work out. So we want this to close bearish here. We actually do want this to close bearish. See, 2 minutes we have here. You mentioned you began looking into trading at 17, and I'm not sure how old you are. Is that something you'd like to share, or is it personal? No, I don't mind sharing. I'm 22. When the 15 is not a clean zone, are we just looking to manage more aggressive and be close? Yes. And when the 15 is not clean, you're actually relying fully on volume, because that's the only thing that's going to push through. And then you're looking at the zones that are not clean on 15. You're looking at rejection. So you're like, okay, if price does end up rejecting from those zones, I have to manage, right? Should I quit college for Forex? No, you should not. Finish your education. You can do both at the same time. There's no excuses. There is no excuses. You don't have to quit for Forex. All right, this close here in 46 seconds here. Interesting close. I've personally, when price closes weaker, that's more what I wanted to see. Perfect. Yeah, strong zone here, strong zone. Let's see what happens. One option might be taking it at the break of the 1 hour high. I'm more comfortable taking it at the break of the 1 hour high than this high. It's only a difference of 1.5 pips, and I think gives a lot more confirmation. You know, probably what I would wait for is a 5-minute closing above here and the break of the 1 hour high as a trade opportunity here. If not, then obviously a 15-minute closing above 250. You know, but 5 would also be okay. Now we have this open. 1 hour needs to make a bottom wick. There's its bottom wick. So yeah. Pretty small ranges, eh? 11 pips to here. That's also the 1 hour resistance. It's just a 15. On the 1 hour. What the hell? $25 pips. What stops you looking at on this? What do you mean? Oh, stops. Probably back inside. Somewhere around here. 128. You don't like it, Abraham? 5-minute close above. Yeah, I think I have to wait for the 5 here. Breaking the high is too small of a range, but it would be an option here. 5 would give me the confirmation. 2 minutes up. There we go. Yeah, if you wanted the riskier shot, break of this high was the option right here. That's a good push. That's a very good push. Based on the 1 hour, that's basically that shot gone. Who took it? Took the entry, we broke the highs on the 15. Nice, many people took it. Nice, many people in here. Yeah, just watch this next candle. You know, definitely BE by this resistance here. That's for sure. That's for sure. BE on this resistance. Feel like it's gonna drop. It's a risky zone. It's not the biggest zone, but if you're gonna go 1 hour level 319, it's already crossed through with a wick. Push was too fast on the 5. Yeah, if you're gonna go, you go break of the high as a aggressive risky option here. You know, that would be the option here. When am I entering? I'm not entering after it's closed. Probably, maybe if it retests down here. If you were to go, like we discussed, as I said, you go break of the high here. Like, you should have been in already. But this is why I didn't want to go early, because of this rejection. But if you were to go, you go already, and now you'd be back at break even. But that's just, you know, this is the problem with buying at highs here. We don't know when it's going to reject. That's why I'm not in. Thing could flip. I don't mind waiting for 5-minute close. Yeah, with this wick, it's definitely interesting. Pull back and set up 2 would be a dream. Yeah, it would be easy. We'd need it on a 30-minute though. 30-minute would be that. Close that B. I think that's a safe option. Even if this ends up playing out, I think you made the right decision. Just based on you're buying full on highs here, you know, it's you know, I think it would be a safer option here. Now that this 5-minute flip, I wonder if it will fill the wick. There's a pretty long wick. I see this wick more as a rejection than a fillable wick here, but you know, with volume it's gonna do it. I'm just noting what time it is and see what happens based on the time. I always lose buying highs. Yeah, it's not the best probabilities buying highs. I've noticed that as well. Especially after a big push like this. It's kind of like a 60% win rate. But if you buy highs, just run bigger stops, because that will keep you safe from pullbacks. I think the mistake people make is when they just buy a high, they'll run a very tight stop somewhere like this. And that's why they lose a lot of trades. But if you give yourself room, it can do whatever it wants and eventually play out. Kind of like these scenarios here. It's a good day to look for information, to see these type of moves. Like, that was obviously a potential, right, break of the high, and to see it fail, that's interesting to see if this is going to fail or play out. I mean, we're not missing much, isn't it? Missing only at, you know, 10 pip range. It's not like it's too sexy here. I'd rather not be holding this drawdown now. That's for sure. I hope others agree with me. Can sell GJ right now. If you have a plan to sell GJ, then, you know, that's your choice. But if you don't have a plan to sell GJ, then probably not. Probably not. 185, yeah, 250 is a very strong level. Yeah, that's why you want to be very aggressive. Which, like Murray said in chat, right? When we have levels like this, do we be aggressive with stop loss? Yes. Break even fast. 6 pips. You know, boom. Straight to break even. I wonder what this rejected off here. Let's go have an experimental lookout at 350. What is 350? Is 350 something, or is the GJ just decide to pull back at 350? What is 350? It's basically this previous range here. Yep, that's not 350 though. Oh, 346, yeah, that one, yep. It's that previous range. Just one of that sessions that I feel like you don't trade. My only option is preferably a setup 2. As after a big push, you're always more cautious, especially now that the time zones are shift. We want to see. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We have to see. I have that victory magic lane on the 30 and 1 hour, so going to trade that. For sells, you mean? Where, on 4 hour you're planning this on? No, you said 30 minute. Yeah, you probably want fake out back inside the range. We're up on a monthly high. Yeah, we're at weekly high. You know, yeah, we're at a very high point. That's why I want to trade 2 targets. At least I can trade to somewhere where price has shown me it can reach. At this point, price hasn't shown me it can reach there. And it's not like to the left we have the cleanest ranges. So it's a little bit more risky. But if this 5 minute creates a range here and we get a breakout with the close above 250, that would be the only thing I'm, you know, interested in kind of as a breakout scenario. Otherwise, I'm looking to trade 2 targets, which would be a lot more interesting here. Gold is a mixed bias. Yes, it is. I can't take any move now until I see a clear picture. Yeah, that's how many trading is. You're holding your sell order. It's retracing big time. What are you talking about? GJ? GJ sell now. There's, for me, based on my plan, there's no confirmation to sell. Yeah, exactly, Antonio. I rather trade to a target that shows that we can reach there at least, you know. I really hoped in Asian we would pull back during Asian, not push during Asian. If you do some back testing and you see what happens if price has been pushing during Asian, you know. $30-minute support, yeah, I'll go. For me, guys, yeah, sells below here is very easy. 84,700. Easy sells 84,700. Let's see if this 5 closes above. I don't like these wicks though. 2 wicks, 2 big wicks. It's not really a trade we can afford with the current positioning of what price has been doing. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, you know, we're sitting in 10% profit here. Let's give it a little bit of a risky shot. Do you sell on GJ? Yes, I do sell on GJ. You can see all my trades. These are all my trades. So you can see that there's mainly buys, but the first position taken on this was actually a sell. And it's buy, and then 3 sells here. So we're obviously moving nicely bearish on that day, or that period of time. And then, yeah, there's a few sells here, but there's a count here. Whereas buy positions 37, sell positions 14. So a lot less. But I actually win more on sell positions. 100% win rate on sell positions. So I better sell GJ. You didn't move break even ever. You need to. That was you. Why didn't you move break even at that point? You're trading a breakout. If you're trading a breakout, you expect it exactly to do that, which is breakout. So that's what we were discussing, right? What are extended trades, by the way? Or the ones we talk about in the group. In public, it's just set up 1, 2, 3. 385. Why do you say it's okay? Because it already wicked? No, I'm talking about the 319. 319 we didn't reject of 319. Because if you go in the past on the 1 hour look on 319, where people are talking about that resistance, it's been tested. This wick here, this zone right here, which was the 319 zone, this wick came up and drove through that zone, no problem. Right? And this wick here is below that zone. So it's a different type of rejection. But this wick through, you know, so it's basically being crossed through twice, right? Flowers to you and your plan. Thank you, thank you. Damn, no bottom wick here. GJ is a buy now because I'm in a trade and I'm already moving to my TP. Is this gold or GJ? This is GJ, man. You can see the chart is in 3 places on the screen. We have the chart right here, Gbpjpy. We have the chart at the top left, and we have the chart right here in the pair thing. 3 places you can see it. What are your trading goals, Harry, long term? Increase as much risk as possible, and that's it. You know, I don't know. The next month could be the best month I've ever had. Could be a rough month. That's a trader's journey. I know I know big time traders who last month had, you know, hard months. I know of traders, and it's part of your journey. If you think that every month is gonna be smooth as a trader, you have some surprise waiting for you. You have a surprise waiting for you because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Right? And this is why these big institutions and funds, the big traders in there, they trade 4 months of the year and then stop trading, because they know that realistically the gains and potential risk of trading throughout the rest of the year, it's not for them. They rather do the easy job, especially, and they don't have to because they have the funds to generate huge amounts of profits, right? So they really don't have to care. Interesting. I was interested, but this now candle does not have a bottom wick. So I can't use the 5 if this is no bottom wick, because this is all fishy. We're rejecting a lot of wicks forming in here, man. Look how many wicks are forming in here. 1, 2, 3, working on 4. You know, it's turning in more into a rejection zone than looking like continuation. You have to always ask yourself this: if price wanted to continue up, why is it struggling now? Right? It should have been gone already. We should have missed the move ideally. Instead, if we were in at the break of the high, I'd probably be break even, but now you're sitting there and wondering, you know? We need more sellers. Oh yeah, you need a seller to make a bottom wick so that this 5-minute close can give an option. But the nice thing about this 5-minute close is we have so much structure now. Pretty safe trade here. You can have like only a 9 pip stop, like 10 pip stop, but just keep your stops here in case some random FU candle, you know, inside the range. Let me check if it has a wick on my broker, because this could be interesting. Is that a nipple? I do have a nipple on my broker. What are we looking like as a range here? 8 pips, use that watch zone. As long as this doesn't push too hard. Let's see. If this pushes any harder, then of course it's just weird price action. This is devil pair. That's why I'm telling you not to trade it yet, right? This is why I'm telling you not to sell it, sorry, yet. Everyone sell now? No, you guys need to be patient for sell. At least it's coming back in the range. Don't fight against it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not taking a break of the high 10 on 10 pip wick. No, but we don't have, you know, we at least needed a close above here. It's just choppy, you know. In hindsight, this would look like an easy move on the 1 hour if this plays out fully on the 1 hour, but you can see. $185.6 as a target for buys. Yeah, that's off the 1 hour, right? I think that's I mean 4 hours, sorry. Yeah, that would be max TP. Max TP. Yeah, this is the close below on gold I was telling you about if you're holding gold buys, right? This is what you don't want to see happen. To hold buys. Break of 5 wick. If you want to trade that very small, you know, it's your choice. I don't mind using this as an information day, you know. But you have to run a 16 pip stop for a, you know, 4 pip. If price starts rejecting this 15, you go break even. I wouldn't trust it. I really want to sell GJ. Bro, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just sitting here and sharing my experiences. That's it. You're entitled to do what you want to do. You can take any trades. I discuss here ideas and everything, you know, and it's your choice. Don't have to follow what I do. It's the first 5-minute closing above 319 and we have 15 pip move. Claudio, you can take the trade if you want to take the trade, man. If that's something you want to take and you're comfortable with, you can take it. There's no harm in that, right? If it's wise, I don't feel a rush to need to, otherwise I would have taken it, you know? Everyone is on the Powerade this morning or something? Yeah, everyone wants to buy high. There's people who are really interested in buying highs and people who want to sell these highs. So it's a huge battle. We will see who wins. We will see who wins. Patients have left the chat. Just watch that daily zone, Jaden. We've discussed that 3 or 4 times. Just be very careful, huh? Don't be scared to be aggressive here. Once you tap into that 4-hour support, this daily support as well here, just be very quick. It is a setup, but look where you're trading. Just be quick. Now support, then take it, Claudio, brother. If you want to take it, then take it. I'm not going to put you off your own ideas. I ain't taking it. I'm just asking. No, you're not. You're not asking. You're telling me to look. You're saying, look, 319 support now. Yeah, I can see. He said, if you were asking, you'd say, hey, what you're saying, look, 319 support respected on 5. I mean, I want to see what time we're seeing good pushes. We're not seeing any good pushes. You're ripping monthly highs. Right? Very close to monthly highs here. Look at this. This is literally almost a monthly all-time high since 2016. Previous monthly, no top wick. You know, this is tough spot. 4 hour did not close. Would like to see a target formed. Rejected right at the daily at B. Good. That's better management. Government sell on GJ. Well, actually, we had a nice pullback on Gbpjpy USD. So this was nice to see. So hopefully we're okay. Does previous no wick count? No. If it's closed, it's okay. You don't need to worry about it if it's closed. If it's open, yes. It does still count. But on your broker, check if this candle has a wick or not. "30-minute rejections and we will drive." Yeah, we will see it. It is struggling. It is definitely struggling. You can see the lack of people wanting to buy at all-time highs, which makes sense. This is why I want to trade to targets. Right? We can write this plan so people don't feel as FOMO. Weekly highs. Right? Safer targets. Because if we're going to take breakouts, we need to have a breakout that gives us an entry option. Right? We need you know, something to give us an entry option. We can't take a breakout based on this type of huge wick fill that we don't even know that's going to be filled. We can't take a breakout based on price already broken out. Remember, when we trade breakouts, we want these to catch these moves. We don't want the move to happen and then try chase the remaining, you know, the remainder of it. Higher time frame when a candle without a wick may be stronger or more cautious. If it's open without a wick, if it's far from where its wick is created, then it's not really a problem. It's rare to happen on the higher time frame. Yeah. So you would mostly base it off how you would tackle it. Is you would mostly be if it's close to around the zone where it will flip, then be cautious that it could flip. I'm not taking gold here. I think it's more of a trap for retailers. Everyone thinks according to technical fundamentally it's bullish, so I'm waiting until the range breakout with proper volume. Yeah, exactly. You know, and this is what I'm saying. Yeah, look at this. This is picture perfect. That daily zone. I mentioned it 4 or 5 times about selling into this daily zone, and this is exactly why you don't want to trade into this. There's proof that this is why you have to do your higher time frame markup. We said this here. You know? Because I've told you twice in half an hour, dude. Bro, 1 hour ago I was discussing about it. But we can both be right. Have you ever thought about that? It's not me versus you. We can both be right. This is analysis. If you don't believe that I did not come up with the idea because it's a very complicated concept that price is at daily support, then okay, it's all on you, brother. But as far as I know, it's not the most complicated concept of price being at daily support. Many people can identify that. And all you have to do is identify it might not be the best option selling into that. Wonder if we can get a setup 5 though away from this. What are we saying, guys? Let's see this next 15-minute close. Will be... Why does price react to supports from resistance on higher time frames? Well, you have to realize that that's the higher time frame close. So the daily close is what happened during the day. And whatever support was created at the day means that that was the daily low point on a closing basis. It is where the daily basically opened, and whether it went up from that price or went down from that price. And it creates like it's a more of a solid zone, because it takes a lot of time frame, a lot of candles to form that, right? Wait, how are you really going to look at trade that Fiesta on gold? That's better than ripping highs on the break of the high on GJ. Sheesh. Rejection City. You'd rip a high on GJ right now? Over that? Look where we're coming from, man. Daily close bullish. Can flip. We're testing daily support. Testing 4-hour support. Look, every time we bounced off here, boom, drove up. It's not the cleanest, but you know, markets are not clean anymore. You have to get used to markets in quarter 4. They're not as clean, so you have to know how to trade in messy conditions as well. You know, options are options. Otherwise, you'll never take a trade as well, which is not ideal. Not talking to you? Oh, good, man. Oh, good. Sorry. London opens in 30 minutes? Yes, it does open in 30 minutes. Exactly. Focus on the devil pair, GJ. Hey, come on. Just exclamation mark GJ in the chat, and you know how we feel about GJ. This is how it is with GJ. Nightbot will tell you. I passed the challenge and had a very good run. Ran through a 9-loss streak and 3% away from blowing. What should I do? Well, you need to identify, why have you taken 9 losses in a row? Yes, we can identify market conditions have been tougher, but 9 losses in a row means something is drastically going wrong. Either what is going wrong in your strategy, and whenever you have a losing streak, which will inevitably be it's inevitable to happen in your trading career. No matter how good of a trader you are, you're going to have a losing streak at some point. And the key is being able to stop taking a trade and look at, okay, what is going wrong in my trading? Is it my entries? When I buy highs, is it reversing on me? If that's the case, that means that probably market dynamics shift and you need to be looking to enter more on pullbacks, not break of ranges. Secondly, you have to look at, okay, is my analysis wrong? When I analyze price to go up today, is it going down and I'm just wrong in that terms? Third of all, am I just being undisciplined and not following my plan because of the emotions of me losing the trade? And if I had followed my plan, would have that trade played out? And once you check those main variables, you end up finding out if you're wrong or right and where you're going wrong. Because for me, if I see 3 consecutive losses in a row, I take one whole step back and reanalyze and say, okay, what's going on here? You know, there's obviously something that shifted. What can I find in common? What can I analyze? What do I see is wrong or right? And, you know, sometimes, very rarely though, you'll look and say, hey, this is just probabilities. But don't use probabilities as a band-aid, right? Don't use that as a band-aid. Be very subjective, right? Because you can be wrong. Understand that, you know, we are human. We can be wrong. What's GJ doing? It's rejecting these highs. It's like we wanted to see. Close that GJ buy. We need to work on your management, Evert. I think you have this trend of not managing your trade, and then when it goes in profit, right? Once it broke that high for the second time, you're 100% BE. There's no point of letting you even lose 1 pip on that trade. Maximum BE minus commission. Because there's no reason for this to come back to your entry again. You traded a breakout. Breakout has to break out. Right? So you either do 2 options. If you're going to manage the trade, manage it so you don't lose anything, right? Or if it's an option where you're not trading a breakout, you're trading a structural trade that has closures and stuff like that, manage based on price closing below a range and leave this trade to run, right? But when you just take break of a high, you have to be very aggressive with stop. So that is something considered, but I'm glad at least you managed it there. But you had a lot of this chance. You don't even need to risk 4 pips here. This can just get out at break even, especially when it rebroke the high if you're still holding. Broke the high, put you in 6 pip profit, put you in drawdown 6 pips, broke the high again, put in drawdown, broke the ultimate high here. There's no reason, especially after that 5-minute candle is closing above the range here. There's no reason for this to keep coming back to your break even. You know, at that point, you might as well, if you're just going to allow to trust the trade, you leave full stops and you just don't manage it at all. Just leave the trade to run, which is a better possibility when we have more confirmation. I literally only see people. Does anyone trade Asian session? It's not as popular. Volume is not as consistent, but I'm sure there are Asian traders. If you guys enjoying the stream, appreciate everyone showing up. Hope you all had a good weekend. Can we do the YouTube business? Leave a like on the stream. Definitely does help. Have around 660 people in here. If we can get the likes up to at least 300, would greatly appreciate it. Sometimes what? How do you see gold? It's in a tough spot. I would not be selling gold on these lows though. I would not be selling gold. Sometimes Asian, yeah, but you're more late Asian, man. You're like Asian close. Asian isn't bad. Gold is usually best to trade. I'll tell you a secret about gold and Asian that no one will tell you. And the secret about the secret will cost you 1 like, but basically the reason why Asian can be very powerful for gold is you're trading the daily candle open. So if you have really good overall analysis, you can catch exactly from the start of the day. Like, you know, you can be catching moves all the way up in here. You can be catching moves all the way up in here. Because if you analyze that the daily candle, you can basically buy and sell on the daily candle's top or bottom wick, and then the sessions, London and New York, will continue your idea. But it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. I read this with your voice? Yeah, of course. I read it with his voice as well. What's GJ saying now? Nice little retest here. Trying again. This thing could just work its way towards the upside bit by bit, you know? Bit by bit can work its way towards the upside. Give me a sec, be back. Tapped you in going up. Yeah, that's why I said you decide to go full break even, be happy with that, or you are leaving original and managing based on 15-minute closures below the range. And I remember, if I scroll up in Zoom chat, I'll see you said that. You said, I'm going to manage if this 15-minute closes in the range. So you changed your management plan. So your management plan is either break even or it is closure back in the range. Right? Because that's what makes sense. It doesn't make sense just to close minus 4 pips for no reason. Based on what minus 4 pips? You either would have closed break of these lows, but based on this, you know. What's my take on Gbpjpy? It says it here. Price at weekly highs. Safer to wait for targets and then trade to targets. That's the safest option. It's a 50-50 chance here. Price is either going to create resistance right now and we're going to have a pullback, or it's just going to slowly creep its way towards the upside by creating lower time frame structure. The more structure we create like this, the more I expect it to creep up. Only problem is taking a trade to creep up like this, we only have to next resistances 4 or 5 pips here. And we're not seeing, this is the first volume time. Look at this, 11:38. Okay, it's the first kind of volume push we're seeing here, right? Not based off a close. Busy looking at crabs. Do you think that Bitcoin half after the Bitcoin April will be the start of the bull run? This could very well be the lows, and we see one more pullback before continuing. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Everyone is expecting after the halving. Everyone is expecting. So don't expect what most are expecting. That's my one tip I learned in crypto. Don't expect what most are expecting. If I see a strong bearish engulfing, no guys, for me on sells, I'm not selling GJ until I see price break down properly. Nothing is telling you to sell here. Nothing, no candles. This is why I trade based off candle closures, not just reactions of zones. Because candles are closing bullish here. Nothing tells you to sell. There's a rule here, follow my entry rules? No, it doesn't. So can I enter? Not really, no. Unless I just took it based on the 1 hour, but running 30 pip stops for like a 10, 11 pip target now and holding all of this, it's just, I don't want the big reversal here. It's just, opportunity cost is not worth it. I want to bet on GJ going up. Yeah, it's probably wiser. I wouldn't be surprised if today is just an annoying day where everything pushes through zones and you see GJ rip 60, 70 pips today. Wouldn't surprise me. If that's the case, then we'll see heavy volume and we can use lower time frame to get in, but we're not seeing that. It's only moved 11 pips in an hour. 11 pips in an hour is not useful. The volume changing because of the schedule, it should do. This is the normal time we used to see volume 10:30. Now it's shift to 11:30. So this is good to see, you know. Seems like the breakout options came through today. Not really a breakout trader though. Yeah, I do have a feeling this will be a day where this thing rips 60 pips. Makes it hard to get in. As usual, Mondays are the worst day to trade. Markets are normally skeptical. Yeah, but this is very important to see volume now come back in at this time. This is the time we used to take trades, but now with daylight saving shift, it's shift an hour. If you look, 10:45, you can see here 9:45, same type of stuff, right? 11, 10:45, 10:45, 10:45, 10:45, 10:50, you know, and look at the time right now. If you look here, it says 11, but that's the daylight shift, right? That's the daylight shift. So this is the time normally we see trades. So at this same time where we normally see trades, was there an entry here? There's not one that I can really identify as an entry here, personally. Not buying at 15-minute resistance, not really my plan. Getting in before then, based on the 1 hour, yeah, could make sense. Please check my setup on Discord. We'll look at charts a little bit later. But here, we'll look quickly so you stop asking, because I know you always ask. So maybe you need to chill out a little bit on the charts, man. This is what you're looking for? Yeah, if that's your plan, man. Closes above this resistance, 312. I think it pushed through it a little bit hard. Well, here's your close. That is your close. Just watch this level. Yeah, rejected that. No stop loss, win rate 100%. Of course, it's only a loss when you close, right? GJ angry at the moment? Bank intervention coming? No. I think we look at USD/JPY, it's still weak. The yen has got a little bit of strength due to that NFP, so we're okay. How long before the volume? Volume is in. Volume is in. We're getting volume here. There's no doubt about that. The problem is how you're going to enter the trade. That's your next question. We're seeing volume. This is beautiful to see. It excites me. We haven't seen this for 2 weeks. 2 weeks we haven't seen volume come in here. Problem is where are you going to get in here? That's your question. When it burns 70% balance of every single? Damn, man. So your question is, okay, how am I going to get in? Either you were in on the breakout, if you were a breakout trader, you know, which normally has around a 60% win rate. And if you were in on the breakout, you know, depends how you manage the trade here. If you just held it and wish the best, then, you know, that's one option. I think the only option is if you're a 1 hour trader here, this 1 hour close above and breaking the high. But you hold big 1 hour stops here. And, you know, you need this really to get moving. So only move 13 pips from your entry. It's not really much you can do with here, 13 pips. Not even 1-to-1 yet. So you're still waiting in this trade. This could be an interesting close though above this. What's our next targets? Same. What's this? I just win by GJ. Enough? Nice. Knock yourself out of a buy and sell to the moon. Everyone wants to sell this. It's funny. Gold breakout buys needs to close above that range. If you can get the close above this range, then yes, could be an option here. 10 minutes for this candle to close. Even though price break above, it's better to wait for support. It's safer because you can see it's not like a big momentumous move here. We're seeing hesitancy in buys, but every time price does pull back, it gets eaten up. So that tells me that there are buys in the market, but they're just hesitant to break off highs. So that kind of orders get, people are buying on pullbacks, and then it's pushing on and just allowing it to push a little bit past the highs here. And then again, same thing happens. Pulls back, pushes a little 2-3 pips past the most recent highs. Pull back, 2-3 pips past the past the most recent highs. How do you deal with fear of execution and fear of loss? You shouldn't fear a loss because that's something that you only put in your mind. If you have a strategy that works long term, having losing streaks or having a few losses here and there should not really cause you any burden. And most people fear loss because they're over risking and they're risking more than they can afford. You're going to feel a loss no matter what because we're human. Don't let that fool you. But you shouldn't be risking so much money that if you take this loss, it's going to actually make an impact to your life. Like that you're taking way too much risk, Hey bro, I remember when that dude on livestream said he only followed models and you bashed him. I remember you put Karina. I'm not even sure who that was. That was my editor put that. Is that who it is? And the fear of execution is not having confidence in your own plan. If you don't have confidence in your plan, you're going to fear to take the trade. Simple. Are you funded? No. Coming late, you catch anything? We decided not to go for the breakout, waiting for pullbacks to continue. But if London Open wants to give this type of continuation moves where it's going to be one of these days where it doesn't close above, then I'm happy to take it. I'm happy to take it. Make a list of your goals, and before taking any unplanned trade, just read those goals. Yeah, that's a very good disciplined thing to do. Just read your plan before taking the trade. If it follows it, then you'll take it. If it doesn't follow it, then you won't. Simple. I'm back to see the sellers. Yeah, they're quiet at the moment as GJ pushes up. It's not ready to sell until we see resistance formed, in my opinion. That's why I like to trade based on candle closures, because they give you the confirmation, right? And especially when we're breaking out of a zone. The 1 hour close above that, you can buy to retest 508. Yeah, that could be a little bit of a small scalp here. Break even at 500 and see if you get continuation. I think it's safe to wait for GJ to pull back. Yeah, if you want to just go ahead and try catch a momentumous move here to see if we do get momentum in the market, then you can. But I'm happy with the buys that were taken on Friday. I don't have to rush into this, because if I was buying back down here on Friday, then I don't have to really rush into this, which is all the way up here, you know? I rather wait for safer pullbacks. But again, if you want to take trades, you can. It's not an issue. You can just look to hold it. You know, maybe I try a small scalp here, but then again, it put me back at break even if I lose it. Hey, this is very important. How do you backtest a strategy that isn't mechanical and relies on a lot of fundamentals? That is impossible to backtest that. It's impossible to backtest it. Reason why is every single day we have a new economic condition, whether it might be a war, whether it might be, you know, whatever it might be, you know, pandemic, anything, whatever it might be, whether it might be stimulus, whether, you know, so you can't test it. You have to just have good economic knowledge and rely on that to continue your trade, right? UJ breaking resistance. Yeah, UJ, but remember, be careful of this candle. This candle was caused by news, so you're looking at this resistance here as a target. So let me change the color. That's the resistance you're looking at as a target, is you're looking at this resistance right here. That would be your target. You can only forward test it? Yeah, exactly. Go to the gym and extra reps more than you're supposed to build discipline. Not joking, help me stick to my trading plans. Yeah, just put yourself in uncomfortable situations, right? You took an entry at 3.9? Damn, bro, why did you buy directly at resistance? Little bit risky buying right at resistance, right? At least look for closes above resistance, guys. This is where FOMO catches the best of you. You have to remember, since this trade started, you're only up 7 pips. We haven't gone anywhere crazy. You can see the lack of confidence in this continuing, because I understand. Do you think a big hedge fund will be wanting to buy this right now? No, they're going to buy on pullbacks. So that's why I want to wait for targets so I can buy on those pullbacks as well. Or we need to see heavy volume. If we see heavy volume, like these candles are moving fast, we can look to scalp trade it. Quick 10 pips here or there, be done? Yes. But we're not seeing continuous movement, which is good for our second plan. Is there a reason why everyone uses Owanda for charting? Personally, I think it's because Owanda doesn't show gaps, so it looks nice. What's my target? I think the main target here, overall target, should be 600 and something. This is the full TP, which will be 600 here. 688. 688. Oh, why am I typing the number? London open here in 57 seconds. Oh, very interesting move, that quick dip. You can see the dips every time price dip down. It's triggering buys for people, which is interesting to see here. 5 did close above. Oh wow, that's a nice candle. That's a nice candle, how it come down like this retest. That's a nice candle. See, this is important if this candle closes above or below. Very important. If it closes above and London open hour opens no top wick and drives down heavy and flips, might get a little nice little push here. How to use the weekend? Do you analyze trades? Do you backtest? In the beginning, yes, I would do that. But don't overcloud your head. It's good to, wow, that's what I wanted. Look, I called it. I called it, huh? I called it. Who heard me say that? I called it. If this hour opens heavy down, no top wick. Damn, this is why you don't want to rip highs, right, guys? London open, they're like, no, thank you. This is too high for us to keep buying, so let's dump it down here. This is the target being formed. Look at that, man. If I took this on the 1 hour close, there's no way I can only be happy with 12 pips. There's no way I can be, based on 1 hour stops running, you know, it's not even half of 1-to-1. Buyers got clapped. Yeah, it's safer to wait for targets. This is the safety part, right? If this does end up coming close to flip, I would probably give this a little shot here. I would be interested in this maybe. Where would you put stop loss? Below this wick. This is more of a risky option, but if this price is going to rip here, you'd have to go BE fast. Take a break of this wick here probably. Yeah, this guy said nothing today. Bank of Japan, can you believe it? On his scheduled speech, he says nothing. Everywhere else, he says so much. Half risk? Yeah, why not? Would be possibly an option. But just be careful it doesn't make a quick top wick and flip down. So I want to see how it is. Potentially looking break of this high here. 425. Because 15-minute did close above, remember? So this could be just a nice little scalp to 500. Move break even and see what happens. We'll have to see. DJ would go up to your target, quite confident in it. In regards to scalping and intraday, what's the best time frame to look for breakouts and true breaks? 4-hour time frame for true breaks. Intraday trading, 30-minute, 1 hour is good for intraday. For any buyers, play it safe, don't marry your trades. Like this is the look. What happened to your cells, man? You got out your cells, Abraham? Closed your cells? Never took a cell? You said up here you were looking for cells, I remember. Said both? Okay. See 5 minute? Yeah, 5 minute close bearish here. It's trying its best to create a support. If you're looking at 5 minute, you have to watch this zone right here where my mouse is. This is where you could potentially reject. If you get above this zone right here, basically where this box is, then it should be okay. Because after such a heavy London move here, you don't want this turning into this. Then you have that. Then you're stuck. Take in 30 trend aligns. Nice. Yeah, you can manage it easily now. Just make sure this doesn't turn into a short-term high. Otherwise, you're good. Will it flip here? I'd look for an entry somewhere. I'd let it make a top wick and see if it reflips. If it makes a top wick and doesn't reflip, then probably like a pip above here, 430 or something. Something like that, 430. Damn, took gold. What's this? Oil. Nice. It makes sense. Had to hold some sideways action, huh? Let's see this. 41 seconds for this 5-minute close. This might be the shot here. Made its top wick now. Let's see this 5-minute close here. See if it can close above structure. It's trying. Rejecting last minute. Oh. This is a nice wick though. This is a nice wick. Could be a half risk option here. 7-8 pips. Just not seeing this move too fast here. Break previous 5-minute? No, you want a little bit higher if you're gonna take this option here. Probably around 430. Could be the option for today. The problem is you might, unless something changes now and we get some random like nice volume come in, you might have to hold these pullback, continue, pullback, continue, pullback, continue until it slowly makes its way up to, you know, 500-600s. Volume is gold. Yeah, gold might get above that zone. Yeah. 2 minutes. Let's see in 2 minutes here. Pretty big stops, 29 pips for just a target of 11, 13 pips though. I sold 2 minutes ago above that high on gold. Well, yeah, you're still, well, this candle hasn't closed, so it doesn't mean you're wrong yet. Because if this candle closes back inside the range, you're okay, right? But if it doesn't close back in the range, that is where it would be interesting for me. Only problem is this resistance right here. This is very close by. You have to basically go break even there. 7 pips. 29 pips stop. But if we break it, you're good. What's GJ doing? Yeah, I don't like the looks of GJ. Maybe an experimental buy here. Experimental stop loss? Where would you put your stop loss? Where's your experimental stop loss? You mean the size? Yeah, because of gold. Yeah, it's not the best stop loss. 29 pips. This closed below here, huh? Interesting, Mr. Gold, interesting. Trying to fool us, huh? Maybe a thunderstorm, but still break of the high could be. What is GJ doing? No bottom wick on this candle right here. Could flip and come down. Might be interested break of the high here. Anticipate this 5 to close above. Could be interesting. I got triggered here. Experimental position. I'll move break even once we tap into this zone. On about 6 pips in profit here. Yeah, now I'm watching this zone here. Being careful right at this zone here. See what happens. See if we can push up through here. Be ideal. If the 5-minute can close above here, will be great for the position. If not, I'll watch what it does on my entry on 1 minute. If this does not bounce off my entry on 1 minute, I'll close break even here. Right, so if it does not bounce off my entry like right now, I'll manage break even. So I'm watching at my entry here. Right? So make sure you guys heard that, okay? But so far so good. Might be a 1 minute thunderstorm. So we'll see if this can reject off here and continue bullish. It's trying its best here. Since, you know, we're buying a kind of breakout here, I want to be slightly aggressive with stops, you know. That's why I'm being, you know, aggressive with stops in this instance. Especially pushing into this 5-minute zone. Gold likes to, you know, gold, if it rejects, it could reject all the way back inside this range pretty heavy, right? We know that because we're buying at the high. So I'm kind of looking for a quick push here, get 15 pips or so, 10, 15 pips, be happy with that. Nice little scalp. So yeah, we'll watch what this does at entry here. Almost tapping it. So yeah, I'm watching this 1 minute now. If it doesn't bounce off entry, then I'll just close at break even. Very simple. Still bouncing at my entry, so still okay till now. Yeah, I closed at this next candle breaking the low. So yeah, got out at break even here, closed the trade at break even. Not willing to hold more drawdown. As I said, we'll manage at entry. Just because I'm taking more of a breakout trade here. Want to be slightly more risk adverse with my trade here. You know, and especially with this 5-minute closing soon here. Don't really want to give it the chance to completely reverse here. So decided to close, you know, at break even here would be a little bit safer in my scenario. Don't trust it just yet, especially tapping this 5-minute. I mean, it pushed nicely, got into 7 pips worth of profit, 8 pips actually. So not too bad of a move here, but the problem is we have no structure. So this thing can pull back deep, and I'm not really in the mood to hold a trade long term in London session. I kind of just wanted to get from point A to point B as fast as possible and see if I can get the opportunity to break past it. That was my idea behind this trade, to see if I get the opportunity to break past it. You know? What's GJ doing? GJ pulled back? Yes, GJ created resistance here. Ooh, nasty. If people, you know, this is why you need to be careful with that, you know. These wicks here, dangerous. 5-minute thunderstorm? Yeah, could be an option here. I did leave half to leave this as an experimental, but this is like 0.2 risk. 0.2 risk for me leaving half, but it's still an experimental here. Just to see what would happen. So I mean, not much risk, but still have a little bit, but I closed most of my position because actually, to be honest, I did not change my risk from GJ. So that was a slight issue. So I wanted to manage it quick. But yeah, I still have this running. You know what? I'm probably gonna look to close here soon actually. Still this other 20%. Nice. I'm gonna manage on 1-minute candles here for the rest of my 20%. Good to see it play out. Damn. If this 1-minute flips, I'll close. You said you went break even? Yeah, for the majority of position. Yeah, I closed here. Done with that. Small scalp. I said I would manage position. I wrote manage and I closed some at break even. I still wanted to leave some. I can't explain. It's hard. I'm putting you guys in a... Look, I wrote would manage at entry. Managed. I didn't say we'll close break even at entry. Unless I close some break even, I'm still... It's nothing crazy. It's not even 1%. It's not even 1%. You even heard the MetaTrader? I can show you the trade. No problem, guys. So yeah, that was a clean trade on gold. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. I closed at around 12 pips there. Nothing crazy, you know, but gold is, I said from the beginning of the trade, experimental position, you know. But still, 0.5% I'll take it. I'll take 0.5%. It's not that bad. Good shit, man. A win is a win. Yeah, indeed. You know, 0.5%. The problem was, the reason why, what happened was for me, is when I entered the trade, right, what happened was, is I went with the same lot size I normally use in GJ. And with a 30 pip stop, not fun loss to take. Not a fun loss to take with a 30 pip stop. I'll be scared shitless. Yeah, but then I said, no, this idea still makes sense. So when 1 minute comes to my entry, because I thought I could get a... Actually, I'll be honest with you guys. I thought I could get a little bit lucky. And I can leave that full risk and gold does one of its rips. Right? I thought that gold can do one of its rips, but no, nice to see this, guys. W's in the chat, whoever held or closed partials. Well done, well done. Good to see the idea play out on gold. We planned this, right? We planned this, and I'm happy. As I said, long time since I traded gold in London. Long time since I traded gold in London. Do you stream trade New York session as well? Once a week, yes. Once a week, yes. Gold fed tonight? Yes. That's nice to see that this gold idea. Love when price action people and SMC on the same side. You are on this, your SMC and you're on the same side as me. I think that's history. That's history. That should be history. Some folks never listen. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, personal decision, you know, to leave 20% to trust my idea. Again, on stream, I will always just say what the majority of the thing is doing. Doesn't mean I can't leave 20%. Thanks for that. You got that win? Nice. Yeah, a lot of people. Again, it wasn't something crazy, you know. It's not like a 3-4% position. Main thing is we kept safe from this bullshit. That's the main thing. And slowly brought in gold here, right? Slowly brought in gold. That's the devil right there. Well, yeah. Nice to see at least, you know, this gold idea play out in London. It gives me confidence and we start to implement more and more and more. But if you guys enjoying the stream, been a while since we had a trade on stream. Leave a like. You're still holding your buy? Nice. Make sure to leave a like. Would greatly appreciate it. And also, guys, don't forget. This Saturday, we have our webinar in the morning, right? Free webinar for all of you. Be ready. Be ready. So be sure that deserves a like. So, you know, the reason why this trade is a little bit tough is because it's very negative RR that was very negative RR. But, you know, that's why I wanted to close some at my entry. But still give the shot to allow a little bit more. That's good. Makes back for that now. Since Friday buys and then this makes back for what happened last week. Which is good. This is a risky trade. It's just negative RR trade. So if you lose it, you're gonna be hit hard. It's not risky. It's our plan. It's what we plan. It's just negative RR trade. Which risk to reward is not that relevant, but if you hit stops on this position more often than not, it's a big problem. Right? It's a big problem if you hit stops on a position like this. Because if you hit stops, you're going to take a big hit, you know, it's going to be a big hit. And if you know, in London, we don't get the same repetition of moves that we get in New York. In New York, at least you get a lot of moves that you can take again and again and again and again. So, okay, I'm not because I'm scared the pullback is hard. Well, yeah, this is why, you know, you have to close less than 1-to-1. If you leave this to full TP, which would be a 1-to-1 with a 35 pip stop, you can't, because what will end up happening here is that you're not going to get the move. Remember, London, we're just looking for the efficient move, kind of what we're doing on what we do on GJ. But with GJ, at least our stops are relevant to our targets. Set up 2 on GJ soon? Potential, yes. It's potentially forming, yes. You need something leaving 250 again. Something closing above 250, that's your setup 2, right? Yes. The only issue is that you want it to happen before the hour close. Because if the hour closing bearish against you, doesn't look too good. Not looking good, bruv. Yeah, this is what I didn't want to be involved in. So my management plan was simple. I manage enough risk for this not to be too impactful, right? So that's why I closed majority at entry. And then my plan was any 5-minute closing back inside the range, I will just close the full position. But luckily we went in profits first. Why gold still so much bearish momentum? I think the 4-hour momentum is still bearish, you know. Still have 4-hour momentum bearish here. You know what I'm saying? So probably why. It's kind of bouncing. It's in a range trade, right? Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream here, guys. I'm pretty much happy with that. We'll see what ends up happening with GJ here. Setup 2s can be option, but need to wait for the candle to close here. 5 minute. What are we saying about 5? Yeah, watch this zone on 5. Watch this here. I'm calling it from now, right? I'm calling it from now. Watch this zone right here where we're at. If this is where, if it's gonna reject, it's gonna reject on 5. So watch this zone on 5. Better to wait for the 15 in 9 minutes here. And then how much is your range? If this closes, it needs to close where it is now. It pushes any higher, it's tough, right? 9 pips you have. You scalp. It's okay point to point. 30 minute, you know, this 50-minute close, of course, will be important in 8 minutes as well. If it can close weak bearish, it will be like a setup 3 here. But ideally, you want to be in from the bottom of the range. So if you're going to re-enter on this and go risky, you go on the 5-minute close, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for here. And yeah, appreciate everyone joining the stream. Thank you very much for showing up. And much better Monday. We're seeing a lot more liveliness in the market, which was beautiful to see. Managed to catch a small position as well. Happy with that. And yeah, hopefully have an amazing day, all of you. And take care and trade sharp. Hopefully catch you guys